Welcome to Follow Your Heart video number 2. So, the reason why you do this is look at the bottom right. If you watch any of the State of Reality videos, you're always at the center of an awareness. No matter what awareness you're talking about, whether it's yours or the Earth's. Well, the Earth, you're moving towards the center of the Earth's awareness. And then the Earth is moving towards the center of the solar system's awareness. And as you get bigger, right, everything's moving towards the center. That's why you follow your heart. Your heart is telling you where to go in the body, because we're all part of a big, many-membered body, and then you're trying to figure out where you need to go. So, and this process will eliminate fear and regret, and it will force you to strengthen your faith, because you're actually connected with the highest intelligence, and so that is telling you where you need to go in the body. Just like think of your own body. Your own body is tells each cell where it needs to go. You know, they've done experiments where they take stem cells, and they a stem cell, if you put it, no matter where you put it in the body, it will grow like that part of the body, because there's an energetic signature in every position in the body, and so that will naturally emulate that information. So, a beginning cell or a stem cell will grow into a finger if you stick it next to your finger cell, if you stick it in your finger, or in a liver cell. That's why stem cells are so important, and why it's so important to follow your heart, because it will force you to figure out who you are. Most of us in our day-to-day lives don't know who we are. We're working a job somewhere where we're working for somebody else. Maybe that person who originally started that company have figured out what they're here to do. And everybody else working for that person hasn't figured it out, right? Because they're not following their heart. Maybe they learned, maybe some of them are following their heart, right? Maybe they just loved a certain type of engineering, and just because they didn't start their own company doesn't mean they're not doing what they love to do. But usually when you're working inside one of our present structures in today's society, they're dysfunctional for a lot of different reasons. And that's a totally separate video, right? But if you think about it, following your heart is leading you into a place where it's right for you. And so you have to become the fool. That's why I have the little fool card up there, where you're just taking a leap of faith and trusting. And his garments are all growth related, so it forces you to grow. And as long as you keep a pure heart, the white flower there, the white rose, is kind of symbolic of his purity of heart. Make sure that you're not, because when you do that, people aren't going to there's going to be a lot of people that resent you, that don't accept you. You're going to have to accept yourself. It's going to be a continuing journey of mistakes and missteps. And so it's a purification process, and creates, higher states of awareness, because you're moving, towards the center of a larger awareness. So, yeah, I mean, what could be why do anything else, right? I mean, this is like what we're here to do. We're evolving as a species. So forcing yourself to grow is, what could be better than that? It's the sacred journey, right? The fool's journey, the hero's journey. So let's go to the next slide. I love the little dog next to the fool. I've always had a dog growing up, and I have never owned my own dog. Um, I've inherited dogs over the years. When I was young, my parents got me a dog, and then I inherited dogs from girlfriends. I've always gotten along really good with dogs. I think everybody does, right? How can you not get along with a dog? Because dogs will just kind of be there with you no matter what. Unless you severely abuse a dog, which is terrible, right? You should never do that, or any kind of animal. But dogs are pretty loyal. They just, you feed them. You can even lock them in a cage half of the day, and they'll still love you. Who knows why, right? I mean, they're just totally accepting of you no matter what you do to them, for the most part. But I've got these two cards here on either side of the fool, because this is our Hierophant and our High Priestess, right? Because as you're going forward, you'll get synchronicities, And you'll see that the universe is supporting you when you just follow your heart, because you're trying to serve the world around you. You're always going to be serving people when you're following your heart, right? And you're healing your heart at the same time. It's an important process to go through, because you're healing traumas that you experience. Could be generational traumas, because most of us are born into families that already have a generational trauma, some kind of trauma that's moving through that family lineage, and you're breaking those generational traumas. So in order to do that, by following your heart, it's going to stress you at every point. You're going to create something, and then it might not get accepted, it might not be what you're supposed to create, and then you're just going to keep, as long as you don't quit, just don't quit, just keep moving forward, and you'll find that thing of what it is you're supposed to do. The Hierophant here is the spiritual teacher, and the High Priestess is our intuitive, the intuitive, the one that's floating the emotional landscape of the universe. And then the Hierophant knows the mysteries of the universe, so the spiritual teacher. So you're basically coming into higher states of awareness in both category. And how you're doing that is, as you see synchronicities and you see that you're being supported at certain times, as your faith grows, you'll come to a higher spiritual understanding of things, so your wisdom will grow. And at the same time, as long as you're supporting the people around you and you're not thinking negatively or holding any kind of resentment for anybody, then your intuition will grow, because you'll be connected to more and more people on your journey, and you'll intuitively know how they feel about you, right? Your consciousness expands because you're connecting to more and more people. And so you're growing in both category. So, yeah. And so, the idea is to continue to meditate and shed negative energies, right? I mean, that's going to bring you into higher states of awareness. I've got the mushroom pics here. There's recently actually, while I'm making this video, I think it's the end of it. It's like day 6 of Expanded States of Awareness Summit with Deepak Chopra and a bunch of other spiritual leaders talking about, it's got the mushroom guy, the guy that lives in Vancouver. He sells all kinds of different kinds of mushrooms, not just psychedelic mushrooms, like lion's mane mushrooms and other things. But if you haven't seen it, watch the movie Fantastic Fungi. Excellent movie. It's mostly about him and his journey. When he was younger, he had a friend that gave him a book about psilocybin, and then his friend's dad burned it. And he was like, why would someone burn something? It must be very powerful if they would burn a book to keep me from reading it. And so he got really interested in mushrooms and had a profound experience after taking way too many, climbing to the top of a tree. It's an excellent story, but it cured him of a lot of things. And there's a lot of conjecture around how mushrooms actually helped push the evolution of consciousness along from our early ages, because it would have been something that somebody could have easily picked up out of a cow patty and ate, because you're constantly, and once they measure your body to see what's happening, you're just, so many neurons are firing all at the same time. You get these expanded states of awareness. I'm not going to ruin the show for you, but it's an excellent show. So your path by moving forward is always to expand your awareness, both your wisdom and your intuition. You'll become more psychic. Your discernment will get a lot better, and you'll be forced to keep shedding negative energies in order to keep moving forward. You will have to keep moving forward, because it will force you to shed those negative energies. If you stay negative at all and you just finally can't get up, and you quit, then you just quit your journey, your soul's journey, your evolutionary journey. And so following your heart is all about your own evolution and expanding, and to stay expanding and staying positive no matter what. And you have to learn to, if you don't feel like, if you're feeling terrible and you're negative, you'll have no energy. You'll keep pushing yourself down. But That's okay, as long as you accept that that's part of the growing process, and just meditate and experience those emotions and let yourself shed those emotions. It's really important to make sure that you're taking the time to shed negative energy. Go outside, spend a lot of time outside, and just relax as much as you can. I don't know how many times in the last year and a half I just would walk down, if I was feeling terrible, I would walk down and sometimes I would just break down and start crying, right? Because there were so many things, and it never felt like I was moving. I didn't feel like I was moving forward at all. But all I was doing was just shedding negative energy the whole time. That was why I was in that position. And so when you see it from a higher perspective, all you are ever doing is just shedding negative energy so that you can flow into and connect with more people as possible and accept people for the way they are. So I'm going to leave this video here, right here now, leave it at that, I should say, so that you guys can ponder that a little bit, and whether or not you're following your heart, and if you're brave enough to do that. It takes a lot of bravery, because you're going to have to overcome a lot of self-doubt, right? That's the main thing that you're going to have to overcome. So love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.